There was once a time in Nigeria when technical education was taken seriously. The government equipped and funded technical schools and laboratories in secondary schools across the country. Today, that's no longer the case, as vocational and technical education seem to have been completely relegated. Now, the embarrassing result of that neglect is staring Nigeria in the face, as over the last few decades, engineering and construction companies in Nigeria have had to look to neighboring countries for technically competent artisans like masons, tilers, and carpenters to handle their projects. In order to stop the menace, the Kwara State government decided to build an international vocational, technical, and entrepreneurship college. And today, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is here in Kwara State to commission the training center 5 years after the foundation was laid. The Kwara State Governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, says the 3.2 billion naira facility represents the core of his administration's mandate to empower the youth and create jobs. He further adds that his government will collaborate with the international organizations to train 17,000 youths at the Ivy Tech Center with an initial 800.
From inception, our government has made human capital development, especially functional education of the youth, the pivot of our people-centric developmental agenda. The reason is simple. Youth are the largest components of our population. To be successful and impactful, consequently, any program government effort must have at its core the economic empowerment of our youths through jobs and entrepreneurship. Our government's programs, therefore, are driven by need to engage as many youth as possible in the value chain of such interventions. This determination to equip our youths with vital skills also form the primary basis for establishing the International Vocational, Technical, and Entrepreneurship College. Indeed, when I laid the foundation stone of the college on September 11, 2012, the vision was to establish a college to equip youth with skills for self-reliance, tackle unemployment, and ease access to vocational training of international standard for students from a variety of skills and educational backgrounds. Today marks a milestone in the history of Kwara State as we take a huge leap towards our dream of providing multi-layered platforms for vocational and technical training to citizens and emerging as the sub-national regional hub for skills. Ivy Tech offers a structured approach to providing youth with market-relevant skills and a reliable pathway to economic empowerment that prevents a descent into negative and destructive behavior often associated with unemployment. Globally, technical and vocational entrepreneurship training has been identified as critical to growth, especially industrialization. As you are aware, Nigeria's previous experimentation with technical education has faltered in the face of neglect and expanding gap between the school's curricula and the needs of the economy. Regardless of education background, Ivy Tech will prepare students for the globally renowned City and Guilds of London qualification, National Business and Technical Education Board, NABTEC, certification, and other vocation-specific qualifications.
The governor, however, appeals to relevant stakeholders to support and partner with the state government in ensuring that the college continues to meet international standards.
Cutting-edge technical, vocational, and entrepreneurship training, such as we aim to provide here, is expensive. Saudi Arabia, for example, is investing over £1 billion in the provision of about 40 vocational colleges across the kingdom to train its targeted 400 youths by 2023. On our part, we have invested approximately 3.2 billion on campus construction, furniture fittings, partnerships, basic training equipments, and tools here at Ivy Tech. An additional 13 billion is however required to cover Ivy Tech's expansion plans in the next 5 years. We therefore seek the partnerships from local, national, and international bodies so that we can upscale Ivy Tech to the level envisaged at its establishment.
Obviously impressed by what the Kwara State government has done, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, says the project is in line with the federal government's drive to industrialize the country, empower young people, and increase local content. He adds that the federal government would continue to support Kwara State while encouraging other states across the country to emulate the state.
There is no reason at all why we should be importing tilers, electricians, construction workers, builders from Togo and Benin Republic and other West African countries. Absolutely no reason. We have the talent here, we have the people here, and we have all that it takes to be able to do all of those things. But what we have lacked in the past is well-equipped vocational and entrepreneurial centers such as we have here today. We have some scattered all over the country, but being well-equipped and having a program that will work, a program that is tailored towards the existing talents and tailored towards the existing needs of the young people, and of course the existing needs of the society at large. And I'm very pleased to see that this particular program and the curriculum of the Ivy Tech is one that is tailored to the exact needs. We have an MSME clinic, which is basically a clinic for small and medium-scale enterprises. And what we do in these clinics is that we bring some of the regulatory authorities here. So today we've brought the Bank of Industry, we've brought the Corporate Affairs Commission, we have brought NIPC, we've brought the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and several other regulatory authorities and several organizations concerned with industry, export, and trade. The whole idea is to bring them in contact with those who are doing the work, in contact with the small and medium-scale enterprises. That's what we're doing here in Kwara today. When we leave here, we're going to be attending those clinics. So that the small and medium-scale enterprise gets to meet with the regulatory authorities. Some people complain we can't get funds when we start our businesses, we can't continue, we can't get funds. Today they'll be meeting with the Bank of Industry. They'll also be meeting with the coordinators of the JIT project. The JIT project is a microcredit project for small-scale businesses and also for artisans, and some of those who possibly will be trained here and who will graduate from the Ivy Tech. So we're bringing them to meet with these people so that they can understand what their problems are. We have told the Corporate Affairs Commission, the Bank of Industry, NAFDAC, and all of these organizations that we want them to facilitate small business. What we're interested in is that there must not be obstacles to business. There must be facilitators of business. All the young people who are looking for opportunities, looking for jobs, looking for possible financing, we want to ensure that they are able to get that financing, able to get the opportunities. And so this, for us, is a very, very important moment and a very important project. And I want to congratulate you and rejoice especially with the people of the Ajashe community.
The Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JEEP, or MarketMoni, is not a joke. Don't be left out. So far, over 300,000 loans have been disbursed to beneficiaries all over the country, including the Federal Capital Territory. And you know what? The figure keeps rising. It's your opportunity to benefit from what the government is doing for people at the bottom of the pyramid. The good thing is you can enter into the interest-free program at any time, and the requirements are straightforward. Have a BVN and belong to a market association. To benefit from the intervention, visit any of the Bank of Industry's branches closest to you or visit their website at boi.ng. Remember, you can apply for other BOI loans online. Simply download the BOI SME loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. That's our show for today. Many thanks for watching, and feel free to tweet at me at KAY Alayande for further inquiries. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.